Well, so far, knock on wood, no more big limbs are falling down. That's good news. Here on the MT and Me, today we're going to talk about things that are broken, both on Pearl and at my work, my radio stations. So stick around. It's going to be a real fixer-upper. So, my week started out with technical issues at work. We've had a problem with the transmitter on one of our stations, Q-Light, and we had to send it off for repairs. Well, we got it back on Monday of this week, and of course, naturally, wanted to get it put in and on the air just as soon as possible. So that afternoon, me and my boss and another one of our techs went out, got it reinstalled, hit the on button, and nothing happened. Oh my goodness, nothing. It would power up. We had a heartbeat, as I said, but the final stages wouldn't kick on. The high voltage wouldn't kick on. So, no transmitter, and we're thinking, goodness me, we just got this thing back from the factory. They said it was fixed, and now it's not working. What are we going to do? So, it was a few phone calls later with some consultants and a couple of engineers, and one of them happened to mention, well, is the interlock jumper installed? And we went, the what? So, brief point of explanation here. Transmitters have interlocks on them to prevent you from getting shocked. They keep the high voltage from kicking on, while usually while you have like a door open or a cover off or something like that, so that you can't be inside where the voltage is live when it is live. It prevents that. Well, this particular model here has an interlock on it that's part of the remote control plug on the back. It's simply a little loop of wire that has to be there for it to power up. We, in putting this in, almost started to hook the old remote control back up, and then we thought, no, let's see if the transmitter works first before we go through that. So it didn't work, so we stopped right there. All right, we should have plugged it in, I guess, because next day, me and my boss, Dennis, go back out there, and we plug it in, double check everything, make sure all the wiring's correct, and everything's on the heads up and up. We'd been operating with a lower powered exciter, getting us a smaller coverage area, but at least keeping us on the air. So first step was having to disconnect it, get the fittings changed on the heliax that goes to the antenna, and then getting the new, improved, repaired transmitter hooked up to it so that we could do a test run and see if everything was going to really be okay. This right here is the little wire that caused us all the problem. Just a little loop of red wire, but it's got to be in place for everything to work. And then we say, okay, well, let's try this. So we hit the power switch, and bingo, we have lights and power. After letting it percolate a few minutes, the power was still a little bit low, but overall everything was looking pretty good, and things seemed to be working the way they should. It's really hard to believe that this box, smaller than the average window air conditioner, is the same thing as this 6.5-foot monster sitting at our studios, powering one of our other FM stations. Same power output, totally different design. It just goes to show you changes that 30 years in radio transmitting technology can bring. So, anyway, a few final adjustments, and we walked off and left it. And as of this morning when I tuned in, we are still on the air. But as you learn in radio, that can change any second now. A while back, it's been, I don't know, several weeks, you may remember we had crawled under Pearl to look at that mysterious electric gas pump, the inline pump coming right out of the tank. Actually, we're trying to get the thing off of there, and I still haven't managed to undo those bolts yet. We're going to have to come back and try to get to that sometime a little later on. But what I want to show you first of all today is in the process of getting under there, I had to clean out from under Pearl to give myself room. Now, I had a few things just kind of shoved under her for the sake of storage. One of them was the cover for the air conditioner, which of course is put up in the shed. That's simply the fiberglass cover for it. Just no other place to put it, so I had it under there. And the other thing were the two side panels on Pearl. Mobile Traveler put these fiberglass side panels down each side at the bottom of their camper section. They kind of curve under, and they improve the aerodynamics of the entire vehicle. It's part of that very smooth aerodynamic design that Mobile Traveler put on their vehicles that was way ahead of its time. Remember, they're doing this in the mid and late 70s when people weren't really thinking that much about aerodynamics. Nowadays, anything that's on the road is designed with moving through the air in mind, so that it, always has an aerodynamic quality to it. 70s, people weren't really worried about that. So this is one of the things where they were way ahead of their time. Anyway, all that being said, I took those off because it gives you easier access to the undercarriage of Pearl, and I figure when the time comes I can rivet them back on. I had them both slid under Pearl. I had to pull them out whenever I was going to crawl under her and do some work. Well, the one that goes on the right side, the passenger side, is in right here at my feet, and it's in really good shape. But when I went to pull out the one that goes on the left side, it's not in such good condition. It came out in 3 pieces. You got the part, it's actually the mid part that goes over the wheel well. This goes in front of that, I think. Yeah, that more or less matches. And then you've got this long section that broke off. It goes all the way to the back. It's got part of the wheel well on it right here, you can see. And These are just, they're fiberglass, so they can be repaired. If I can hang on to them, they can be repaired. It's just having one more thing to fix, you know? So, we're not going to be doing that repair anytime in the near future, probably, but whenever the time comes, I may be calling on some of you for some fiberglass repair tips, just so we can get that side panel put back together. We might even need to reinforce a few spots on this other panel that's, so far, still in one piece. Time will tell. Now, in the meantime, let's do a little recap as to exactly where we are here on Pearl. Well, we got our shiny new thermostat cover installed, and it's still there, still firm. So we're ready. At this point, the thermostat's in too. I guess I should have mentioned that was the whole point, putting in a new thermostat. The cover was just kind of an unexpected bonus. So anyway, new thermostat, new cover. So whenever the time comes to change our hoses, we're ready, because I have brand new upper and lower hoses for her. We got our gas line installed, which, by the way, I should probably hook back up here. It's always a challenge to get those threads just right. There. It's not tight, but it's in place. Okay. So that's taken care of. Got the gas line connecting the gas pump and the carburetor. We still, as I think I mentioned earlier, have to go back under and see about that little electric fuel pump. The one that's got the mysterious switch over here on the side of the dashboard that we're trying to figure out. So we're going to be taking it off and seeing if we can't see if it's working or not, or if we even need it or not. And beyond that, it's going to be dropping the gas tank, cleaning it out good, putting it back, and then hopefully putting some gas in this old girl and firing her up. And when we reach that point, that's when we'll put the radiator back on, put those new hoses on, and be ready to proceed with getting this engine tuned up just right and running good. And I have every confidence that it is going to do just that. You may be throwing that quote back at me one day. Just saying, okay? I'm prepared. But for now, confidence is high. And hopefully, it'll stay that way. We've still got a lot to do. Instead, getting the radiator assembly back in and hooked back up here on the front. Everything else I think is pretty good. And someone actually asked, well, what about the rest of her front end? Yeah, I've got the bumper and the grill and all that stuff that can be put back on her once we get the engine work done. And that is assuming, of course, I remember how to put them back on, because I took all that stuff off about 3 years ago, 3 years ago. But you know what? I've got the book, and it's a pretty good set of instructions on how to disassemble and reassemble Pearl. It has to be, or I wouldn't have gotten as far as I have. So there's that much anyway. Something to look forward to on down the future. But I have to admit, I will enjoy seeing her get the rest of her face and her smile back one day soon. That's going to be cool. What else is cool is having you join us each and every week here on the MT and Me. So I didn't do a whole lot today because once again, it's been a week of extreme heat. It's just so hard for me personally to get out here and do work when it's this hot. And plus I had that engineering work to take care of to keep one of our radio stations on the air that I showed you. Well, that went well so far. As of today, it's still working. In radio, you never can be sure. So anyway, we'll play that by ear, and we'll be back next time with some more work to do, because there's always something waiting to be done here on Pearl on the MT and Me. Thank you, my nomies. You make it worthwhile watching each and every week. I appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, and give me a thumbs up on this video. As always, that helps YouTube take notice. And when you're on YouTube, that's a good thing. Till next time around, I do love you. I am Russ, and we will talk later.